Hey guys, Andrea Cox. We're doing a framing demo today. Please do not judge my little office studio area. It's messy. Okay, so I have just recently bought a new frame for this piece of art. Props to my girl Millhouse Van Houten who made this. So the back doesn't have any sort of hanger, and I want a wire hanger. Okay, so this wire hanger method is for any sort of canvas or frame. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is obviously the correct way, up and down. I am going to make it so that the top of the photo faces me. Okay, and I'm going to work this way now. All right, so you can see again, if I lift this up, I can see the image correctly. Okay, now, and this is professional framing practices that I learned through my several years of framing experience throughout different framing companies while I was in college. Okay, so tools we're gonna need. We're gonna need something called an awl. All right, this is a sharp, pokey type of tool, AWL. It's called an awl. It makes a hole. You could also do this with a small drill to make a pilot hole. Basically, you're making a pilot hole, okay? You're also gonna need your screwdriver and your hammer, okay? Regular tools. You could also use a drill, but I prefer hand tools. The other materials you need, okay? So I realize this is backwards, or maybe it's not, I don't know. This is coated, I prefer plastic coated picture wire. This is 30 pound, okay? This thing doesn't weigh nearly 30 pounds, all right? So it's more than enough, okay? And they even have little instructions on the back here, guys. So, attach rings at either side of the frame, a third of the way down. That is correct. Now, so often you'll see people put their hanger way up here or halfway down. This is not correct. You need, okay, and I know you can kind of see how big it is. You need to put your holes one third of the way down, all right? So I like to kind of measure with my fingers. So it looks like my fingers make about a quarter. So I'm gonna do my fingers and then I'm gonna add a little bit, okay? So a third of the way down. In fact, that would be right halfway between these particular clips, okay? So I'm gonna take my awl and my hammer and I'm going to, right in the center of this part of the frame, okay, the very back side of the frame, I'm going to make a pilot hole gently. There's glass in here already. Now this is why you're also working on a soft surface like a carpet or a towel. You don't want to be scratching up the front of your frame, all right? And again, this is not a fancy demo. You know, I'm sure I could make this look a lot better, but right now I just want to get you the information. And I'm going to make my pilot hole on the other side as well. And I'm going to make sure they really super line up, okay? But the cool thing about a wire hanger is that it really doesn't matter ever so slightly off kilter. Okay, we got our pilot holes. Now, the other things we really need here are called D-rings. Let me see how well you can see that here. So in this box, there's D-rings and screws, matching screws, okay? I just got this stuff at Walmart, guys. You can get it at any hardware store. The hardware store was closed. I had to go to Walmart. I hate Walmart. So I'm gonna open up this box. Okay, I'm gonna take my screw and my D-ring, okay? There's most definitely a flat side to this. So the flat side is gonna go against the frame. So I put my screw in. And I find my pilot hole. And I make sure my screwdriver's got what I want. And I start screwing this in. Now, you gotta really be careful sometimes. If you're working with frames that aren't solid wood, see, this pilot hole isn't even big enough. If you're working with frames that aren't solid wood, there's some sort of composite mess. So many frames these days. This is a cheap frame, mind you. This is not a high quality frame that I'm working with. You might split the wood while you're doing this, and it sucks. All right, so I'm screwing this into the side bar. It's not even wanting to go in. I'm gonna apply a little more pressure here. Again, the problem with power tools on this stuff is that if you go too fast, you're guaranteed to split it. Now I can already hear it kind of cracking, and if I look real close, I might start to see a split. And that's the problem with these cheap frames. So guys, you know, try not to cheap out on your frames. So I'm going real slow here, applying gentle, even pressure. And I can already see there's a split starting. So I'm just going real slow because I need this screw to get all the way in, okay? It can't be loose. But if I just keep going real slow, hopefully I won't wreck the whole frame, okay? I'm doing all right. See this a little bit better. Okay. See, it's still loose. I'm being a bit girly about it right now. And it's kind of going in a bit crooked here, but I gotta get it tight. Still playing around. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I've got some pressure. All right, now, and you don't need it to be like this. No, no, no. Straight is good. Okay. Yep, that's it. Okay, and that's fine. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Over there. Okay. Oops. All right, so I've got my screw. And I'm actually going to make my pilot hole just a little bit deeper here. There we go. Okay. Now. Okay, so both sides going first, no wire. Okay. It's going in nice and kind of straight. Yeah, that little bit more of a pilot hole made a difference. So don't be shy on your pilot holes, okay? This one's going in nice and smooth. Still a little crooked, it's okay, as long as you get a tight fix on the, so that there's no play like this. We don't want it to play around, okay? We want it to stay in one spot. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So you see both of our D-rings attached. Okay. Now I'm going to open up my wire. Okay, so it's wrapped in plastic, and the reason I like that is because it won't rust. Okay, it also glides a lot better when you're trying to manipulate it. Okay, so leave it coiled. All right, this part is pretty important, guys. All right, this is called your wrap. And there's a certain way to do it. There's a right way and a wrong way. Don't do it the wrong way. All right. Now I take one end of the wire and I go up from underneath through the D-ring, okay? And I just kind of pull it through. And then I string the rest of this along here for a little bit. Okay, so I've got this end through. Whoops. This end goes through here. Trying to get you the best view here, guys. This end goes through here from underneath. I string it over to here. All right. Now I want to try to start to measure, okay? This loose end right here, I want to bring it all the way to the middle of the frame. You see that? So I'm kind of measuring, all right, and I'm starting to pull and stretch this out, and I want to measure, okay? So that looks kind of nice. I'm creating a bit of a crimp here at this end, so it'll stay, okay? Because what that also means is that I can measure here. I can put my finger here, wrap this back to the middle here, and now I know I need to wire cut. I forgot, you're gonna need your wire cutters. You're gonna need your wire cutters. Trusty old wire cutters here. Now I cut my wire. This stays nicely coiled, goes back into your toolbox. This, already crimped over here, from underneath, okay? I pull that across, and guess what? Tight, not loose. Everybody wants you to do this and make your wire hanger all loosey-goosey. Do not do that. It's tight. A straight line, guys. Straight line, okay? Straight line. Now, so basically these ends have met in the middle or about the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, now I'm gonna try to get you a nice close up here. So I've crimped here. Now I'm gonna take this again. I'm gonna go, let me think here. Which way do I wanna go? Over the wire. Underneath again. Sorry, it's been a little while. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now I'm around here once. Okay. Now I start my wrap. And guys, this is rough on the hands. All right, I'm going underneath and I'm pulling backwards. Okay. Underneath, pulling backwards. I'm wrapping it around the wire, around the straight part of the wire. And there's zero space in between my spirals, okay? Now I'm only gonna go so far because I'm all loosey-goosey on this end. So I'm gonna start this end as well, okay? You know what, you don't have to go under on or over on that side, that's fine. All right, so I'm pulling backwards. I'm making my wrap straight as possible on both sides, okay? Let me just get some of this done for you. And guess what? I'm wrapping this whole loose wire. You just gotta keep going. Because the less you have, the more chance you have of this unraveling as time goes on. So eventually, whether it's a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, your picture might just fall off of the wall. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this whole side and then I'll show you when I'm done. And guys, this takes practice, okay? This is not something I mastered on the first try. See that? How beautiful that is? Very nice and neat. Okay. Now, you see how much less space that took up? So if I had made my wire shorter, I would only have like this much wrap. That would have unraveled. All right, you do this end now. Okay, keep going on this. Nice and close in so you can see. You always kind of have like, I'm not left-handed and this is the left side. So like this wrap won't be as nice as my right-handed side. That's okay. So long as you follow the guidelines that these spirals, these coils have to be touching. Don't want any space in between them. Now, again, this is a straight line, not looped like that, because over time, this stuff will stretch. And you don't want to eventually have your loop going way up over your picture, over the top of your picture. That would be weird. You wouldn't want that. No way. So you can see, all right, I've got that totally nice and wrapped. Okay. And yeah, there's like one little spot right there where I screwed it up. That's okay. All right, this is nice and taut. Okay, it's almost straight. You do not want that. Okay, because now I'm gonna set you up again like a normal. There we go. Okay, so now see when I go to hang this, okay, it's already stretching. All right. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you properly wire something. Okay. Now, let's say you had multiples of these that you had to hang on the wall, but each one comes out a little bit differently, right? And you need them to be in a straight line. So pulling on this, because you know there's weight involved, you're going to measure from the top of the frame to exactly where the hanger would be. Okay, so what is this measurement? All right, and you're going to measure that for each frame if you're trying to make a straight line on a wall, and you're going to adjust your screws accordingly. So you want your top line to be, and you can kind of mark it on the wall with a pencil. You want your top line to be, right here. You can literally measure each wire hanger between here and here, and you'll know exactly where to put your screw in the wall or your hanger, whatever you're using, whether it's a clip, screw, whatever the gallery is having you use. So that is your framing demo. Let me know if you have questions. Guys, this is an art form all its own. It's going to take practice. Some of you may not ever really need this because maybe you're having somebody else do your production or whatever, but it's very good to know. Works great for canvas as well because you've got your stretcher bars back there and they're made of wood. So that is how you properly wire a picture frame. Yay! Check y'all later.